I guess we'll start with Royal Commission. Long time waiting for that.
Yes, Stephanie. Although I have to say I've been only completely involved with it since our boy John went on the 22nd of July. I've become far more interested, of course, in what's being done and what needs to be done, as my family has. My family have been very active in trying to achieve something.
So overall, what's your reaction to Prime Minister announcing this Royal Commission?
I think it's a wonderful thing that she's done, frankly. I praise her, I thank her for it. I thank all the other people who've been instrumental in bringing this about. I have to say that I was surprised at the speed with which things have happened since Peter Fox said what he said and wrote what he wrote last week, which I think has really been a tipping point and been an amazing effort on his part. I'm just full of praise and admiration for that man.
What has he done for victims, do you think, by coming out and being so passionate about this cause?
I think that he's given them a voice and has given them a lot of credibility, because we have to understand that he's the bloke that's been investigating a lot of these matters over a long time, and he has far more knowledge in that one man, I think, about what's been happening for a long time than in any other person in this area. And he's a man of great experience, 35 years in the police force, a chief inspector. He's no mug, and he's a man that needs to be listened to. And I think Barry O'Farrell listened to him. I don't think he listened to him seriously enough. I think that Barry O'Farrell could have done a bit more than he did the other day, but what he did was grateful, and I think that's a stepping stone to where we are now, and Mrs Gillard taking the move that she did, as well as Tony Windsor. I compliment him too about his stand, and any person who has come out and spoken in favour of this.
What would you like to see come out of this Royal Commission?
What I think will come out of it is, I think that it will give parents of the future a sense of security about how well their children will be safeguarded in whatever institutions the parents commit them to their care, whether they be schools or orphanages. Well, orphanages, I guess that's not an appropriate expression there with parents, but parents will have some satisfaction or some security that their children will be safeguarded, because they'll know that the government of this country is very concerned about the welfare of children.
Do you have any trust left in the church?
I have a lot of trust left in the ordinary lay people of the church. The lay people of the church are the core of the church, and as has been pointed out to me, and as we point out, they are really the church. I have very, very little trust in the hierarchy of the church from the clergy upwards. I'm afraid I have very little, and I can tell you that comes from a person. I've been a practicing Catholic for the whole of my life until recent times, and it's very disheartening to have the lack of trust that I have for the hierarchy of the church.
Do you think if a Royal Commission had been called before your son passed away, what effect do you think that would have had on your family?
One theorises. I would say that, as I said, for parents in the future, the fact of this Royal Commission taking place will go a long way to ensure the safety of their children in the future. So therefore, I would think that if something had happened beforehand, then it might have been different for our family too, that we might still have our precious son John. But they're theorising, and I can't say. I'm just heartened that at least it's happened now. And it's not John and our family, we're only a small part of this. There are victims that have borne these troubles for years and years. I've spoken to some of them too, heartrending stories. And things will be at least a bit different for them now, because they'll have been acknowledged. Yes.
Perfect. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Pretty much covered it there.
I think that Joanne McCarthy of the Newcastle Herald should be very much acknowledged for the marathon effort that she's put in over many years, the perseverance and the persistence. People like Peter Gogarty that I spoke to a little while ago, the perseverance and persistence. And anyone who's been very active in trying to bring this about. I hope that the ordinary members of the church will embrace this. I'm sure there are many members of the clergy who are good, honest clergy members, but they really have to be separated from those who don't follow their vows. They take vows of chastity, and they really make a mockery of it. Those who have committed these offences, and just as seriously are those who have covered it up. That's the big thing. The big thing about this matter is that concealment of crimes is a crime in itself, but for some reason people who cover up sexual crimes, sexual abuse of crimes, don't seem to think it's serious. Well, they're wrong. They're about to find out that they're very wrong.